Hey everybody, and a very warm welcome to She. My name is Lily and I'm so excited about today's topic. One of us was saying that it's a tough topic, but it's something that we do need to talk about, because if it's not someone in your life who is going through it, if God blesses you, you will get there. You will age and you will need extra help. So tonight we're talking about aging gracefully. To my immediate left, I've got Dr. Rebecca Nganga. She's been here before. Thank you so much for making time for us. From Daystar University, she's a PhD holder, and we are so blessed to have her. To my immediate right, I've got Patricia Mukayagi, beautiful name. She runs the Visiting Angels Nursing Agency. So she'll be telling us her experiences on taking care of the elderly and some of the tips that we should think about even as we get there ourselves. And then to my far right, I've got Grace Mushiri. She is a financial advisor, and she will be taking us through the different opportunities there are of securing ourselves and our aged loved ones for that sunset time of our lives. Karibuni sana. And guys, please remember to watch this on YouTube. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and give me your feedback on 0786316316. That's our WhatsApp line. I'm going to start with you, Dr. Rebecca Nganga. When I last spoke to you, you were so passionate about this topic, and you actually infected me with that passion, because I started thinking about myself and my grandma, and that you can see somebody that used to be very strong not strong anymore, or someone that used to be have a very sharp memory not having a very sharp memory anymore. So I just want to give you a blank slate. What is your most pressing thought on that issue?
One sure thing is we are all growing older. Every time you say happy birthday, it's getting older. So everyone is getting elderly. Yes. The issue of when are you old enough for it to be of concern, I think it differs. There is the real age and there is a chronological age. So some people at 90 are up and about and doing things. Yes. Some people at 60 are very old. Yes. They are needing help. Yeah, sometimes, of course, there are health factors. And also there is culture, what expectations people have about themselves, because the way we think really matters. So growing older in our situation in Kenya is something that any one of us must arise and think about. One, because if God answers our prayers, if we grow healthy, and the way we are eating and drinking and leading everything about health, we will grow old. Yes. And it means then we need care. We need to think about it. A time will come, it doesn't matter what we do, we will not be able to take care of ourselves.
And yeah, just before I go to Patricia, would you say that it's time for us to start investing more in nursing homes, and just to accept that those days when we used to move in with our aged might be, not possible, not as possible as they used to be?
Yeah, that's a good question, Lillian. We are in a transition stage as a people with our history, which we cannot erase. We are transiting from rural life to country life. Yes. We are transiting from a life where we were all together. Communal life. We were all together. People knew what is expected of them. Yes. The people knew how to take care of their old. Yes. Now we are in a life where the old are not sure they are significant anymore. And of course, with the populace youth, the people thinking may not know where the old are. So even transiting to nursing homes is important, and we need to think about it. But it requires more thinking, because we are in transition. Whether it's urban, whether it's rural, we are in transition. Things are not, the values we are living with are not what we used to have. If we put people in old people's home, what were the expectations? Because our expectations create our disappointments. Yeah, so were they expecting to grow older? Do they feel rejected, neglected, with nobody to tell their story? Yeah. So there are all those kind of things that we must think about as we go through this transition.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So Patricia, this is a good time to come to you because you run a nursing home and she's talking about neglect. I was looking at a study done by WHO recently, and it said that 1 in every 6 people above the age of 60 years experience abuse, most commonly neglect. What has your experience been in that area?
We run an agency, and in the agency we are subcontracted sometimes to run aged care homes. And in one of the experiences, what we found is that the people that were in the retirement home were actually healthier, happier, more, leading a better quality of life than the ones that we were seeing in the homes. Now, just to tell you that we are in trouble, because you would expect that the ones in the homes are the ones that would be happier and having all that. But there comes a time where, as a family, people have to think of, are we able really to take care of our older parents? Are we able? Are we giving them that which it is that they need? But again, backing up a little is, do we even know the needs of the older persons? You can only ask yourself a question whether I am meeting so-and-so's needs when you know the needs of that person.
What are those needs?
Exactly. What are the needs of the older persons? Yeah, we want them to age in the concept we have now is healthy aging. What is healthy aging? We are looking at them all round. We are looking at them physical, emotional, psychological, spiritually. How about their minds? How is it? Do we even take them to church? When you look at the churches, how many older people do you see coming to church? If I was to throw that back to the religious organizations, I would be asking, do you have a service for older people? And are there people who can take these people for that service, even if it is during the week? So we've got to look at it extremely critically. What is it that my parents who are aging are having for their meals? Are they just taking ugali and uji all along? Who is taking care of their medication? What medication are they taking? What is the quality? What is the progress? So it's a whole thing that we must look at. I agree that it's about time we start thinking about retirement homes. Retirement homes are different from nursing homes. Nursing homes are where people are nursed because they are unwell and there is a discharge day coming. But in retirement homes, it could be short term, it could be long term, it could be residential. So we are saying, at what point can I take my aging mother to the retirement home? I can take her in the morning and pick her in the evening. Let me tell you what happens in the retirement home. She meets her age mates. They have something to talk about. They are remembering old stories, old songs. And we can have children coming to visit them and sing with them. It's a very, very enriching, vibrant environment. But the issue of abuse, even in the retirement homes, is something that must be looked into.
Do you have any idea what could have led those boys to rape an old woman?
The first thing that comes to my mind would be drug abuse, substance abuse. They have got unmet emotional needs. They have got psychological issues. That is what I would say. But one thing that I would want to emphasize, and I'm glad we are having this discussion, and many more are coming up like it, is that we need to see the political will of our government, whichever government. We need to have a law, a geriatric law, an aging person's law, or whatever they will call it. Because we have many bills that are sitting in the Senate, that are sitting in the Parliament, and we need people to pass those laws.
I love that. Thank you so much. And Grace, you are here to talk about numbers, because I think any way you look at it, there's a cost attached to existing, no matter what age you are. Most working Kenyans end up retiring poor. So you have worked most of your life, but when you need now to settle down and you can't keep up with the speed and the needs of the working environment, you have nothing in your pocket. What's the most common mistake that we make as young women?
So we spend money instead of saving it. So a fraction of what we do is use money instead of saving it. So what happens to our retirement? So you find you don't have money. That is it. So money is the key factor in everything. So plan your retirement early. At the same time, we find if you don't have a retirement and you think your children will be your retirement, it's not a package. Okay? So people plan retirement with their children. That is one. Two, you don't know how to use your income. So what happens to your income? Goes down because you spend all of it and remain without any money.
But you see what happens? I will save, but then an emergency will come and I'll use those savings.
Yes.
So how can we secure something that we won't touch?
Now, come to goals. So you need a short-term goal, a medium goal, and a long-term goal. So retirement comes in a long-term goal. But most of us don't like long-term plans at all. Tell me to save for 20 years? No. I'll be dead. That is what most people say. At 20 years, I'll be dead.
Yeah.
So you find most of us take short-term plans just to cover for the shortest period. Ile najua in 5 years, I want to buy a piece of land. After buying the piece of land, yes, it's going to appreciate over time. But after appreciating over time, you can sell it, right? Yes. But is that money enough for your retirement? The factor is we don't consider our retirement just because of our age. Yes.
Okay. Right. Rebecca, very briefly before we go to the break, I'm just thinking about this land that you inherit and you can't sell it, so you have to farm. Do you think to some extent it ties up a young person's money?
That land you can't inherit. Actually, my opinion is land should not be owned by individuals. I think it's doing us more harm. I think we need to revisit some of the decisions that have been made in our country in the past. Land should belong to the state. People should hire it, use it, return it. Okay. Yeah, so that they don't have to kill their parents over diminishing land. Yes. Because like now, the land now is every plot. Now these plots you give to your children, what are they going to give? Where shall we farm? I think we have to rethink very sincerely about the issue of land so that the mind is freed to think, to explore, and to wonder like other people in the world. Yes. Yeah, so that we can't keep claiming what is not ours is ours. Land doesn't belong to us. We found it, we live it. And we need to have a system that enable us to live that land. Use it, farm it, live it. Get your graves in a place that is organized. Yeah, don't go burying yourself where you need to be cultivating. Yeah, so we need to rethink.
You're so liberal.
No, I mean, it's not making sense. Yeah, like now in Mount Kenya, Liri, do we have land anymore? I mean, the productivity is all gone, and everyone must be enabled to think in ways that are productive, fruitful, and it doesn't have to be inherited land. Yeah, because first it never was in your parents anyway.
You didn't have it.
It was not yours. With. We found it here, and we are living it here. So can we work on what we can manage?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. My mind is really being, it's really being stretched, and I hope yours is too. We are going for a short break. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
On the premiere episode of This Is My Story, the joy of beholding a newborn baby is inexpressible, but to some, their bundles of joy come packaged differently.
When they realized I was disabled, they referred to that as a curse. The lifespan for people with spina bifida is termed to be 18 years. So for me, I was like, I'll die at the age of 18.
It's a story of pain, loss, hope, and living beyond one's limitations on This Is My Story, tomorrow at 8:30 p.m.
Welcome back. This is She. My name is Lily, and we're having a very exciting conversation about aging gracefully. And it has a tendency to spiral into all directions. But I'll just try to sum up a short conversation we were having off camera. And I thought if I ask you, which investments have helped you so far in your life the most? I thought you'll say academics or, career or land. But you didn't mention any of that. So which investment really matters?
I'll tell you something. Human beings want to be relevant and significant. So any investment that make you relevant, even in your old age, people want people to tell their story. You know, you want people to listen to your story and it makes sense, connection. So relationships, to me, are the investment that matter. For sure, you must invest in ways that keep your mind alive and alert. So you must keep reading, talking, and literally relating with people so that you know where they are. Understanding technology, which is on the run.
It's evolving every minute.
Now you have to understand it, yes, if you have to watch your TV, you have to understand how to use those knobs.
Yes.
So the thing is, you need people. You need people that will tell you what is the latest and where are we.
Yes.
We need people to talk politics.
Yes.
Yeah, so that you have connections. So being relevant, being significant, even when you are 110, you want to feel relevant. You want to feel significant.
Yes.
So whatever investment will make you feel that. That's why the issue of being institutionalized versus family relationship is still something we need to. There is room for the government to come in to help, because when you have no finances, and for sure if you have pension, if you have investments in buildings, in land, in shares, they will come in handy. But there are times, of course, when these investments go. There is something called inflation, and things turns in life that come that were not expected. When they come, do we have relationships with people? And even when we lose the people that were significant to us, are we able to develop relationships that make us matter to the people and make us important, even if it is leaving me with your baby? And I sing those old songs to them.
Yes.
Yeah, so those issues to me are the investments that need to matter.
Okay.
You can be in a place like Ukraine, where whatever you had invested in is trashed.
Or you have money, but you're trapped.
So you are now probably in a camp as a refugee, or in another country, or in a totally new situation. Adaptability.
Okay.
Even in old age, we need to encourage ourselves. That's why I think one of the things I'm thinking we need to rethink about is not being too settled. Keep moving houses, because it's very difficult. We are so used to, I know where my things are. And in old age, it gets worse. You move things and someone is disoriented.
Yeah.
But do you know we put so much trash that when you go, people don't know what to do with your trash. It was so significant to you. So if you are given opportunity to sort it out, so that you give away, you do things, you start giving, it also makes you feel relevant. Good. So now you move into smaller place until you are in a room. So now when the home care or nursing care or retiring care, you are lighter. But still having relationships.
Yes.
So that flexibility, adaptability is very important in life. Yeah.
Oh, I find you liberal in a refreshing kind of way. Let me skip to, there's a question I'm saving for Patricia, but let me skip to Grace Mushiri. Country home, townhouse, you know, and we see the people that are thought of as well-to-do, they have both. You have a house in the city and another one up country. Do you think it helps? Does it help?
Yeah, it helps.
Okay.
I want my startup home right now. So where do I go to? Kilimani, of course.
Yes.
Before I think of planning to my retirement home.
Yes.
Yes, so I can shift to houses comfortably because I'm not into one home, that is. I look at the kitchen and think I need a different structure of the house, right? I go to Milimani, take another one. Before I think of taking my own home, I need to have moved to places before I decide to get to my actual home. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I wanted to ask Patricia, Dr. Nganga is talking about building relationships, but some of the people that you will care for in your retirement home, they have severed relationships with their children. Their children are bitter with them and they want nothing to do with them. Have you experienced such?
Yes, I have.
So what's your message to the children? Because I think the elderly cannot do anything about it. But if I'm here and I'm struggling with a lot of bitterness, maybe I feel like my mom treated me badly when I was growing up, and sometimes they feel like even if I go and visit her, she will tell me things that hurt me. So how do you advise those children to go about it, or even their other relatives?
I'll share an experience with you of some groups that we have. We have in the counties, in the village. And every new group that we form, the first session, we call it a debriefing session, where we encourage the older persons to express what their frustrations are and where they are at in life and what it is that they are going through. And top on that list is the children. And they get very bitter about their children. These children left us here. Some of them left us with their children. They don't send money home, and there are all those things. And we help them to come to terms with what is happening and try to take off that blame from their hearts, so that we encourage them to forgive the children and to probably understand that the children are also going through a difficult time. But when we come back to the children, the story is different.
Yes.
Because we are telling them, you're the stronger one. Your parents may have done whatever it is that you say they did, but they probably don't even know why you ran away from home. You need to look back and say, truly, I am what I am because of my parents. If they didn't take me to school, if my mother didn't take care of me when I was an infant, I wouldn't be here. So for the good that they did, I will handle this matter and I will go back and repair that relationship. Every parent truly will accept their child back. And that is very, very important, because we have seen situations where the parents have unfortunately died and left this strained relationship, and the children go through so much to recover. Actually, majority of them get into this psychological trauma, and yet you don't have, and they start going now to the graves. Daddy, forgive me. Mommy, forgive me. I mean, come on.
Yes.
You had the opportunity to. Why don't you go now, when you can talk about it, when you can hold her hand, when she can hug you, when he can tell you it is okay? I find that much, much more healing and fulfilling. There's no relationship that cannot be restored. And we challenge the children to really go back and do that.
Make it work. Find a way.
Make it work. Make it up.
Okay.
It may not be as good as it was, but make it up. Make an effort and bridge that gap. You actually, you have everything to gain. Everything to gain.
Yes.
I think I would want to say something there.
Yes.
Psalm 7 verse 3, I love it. Trust in the Lord and do good, so that you may dwell in the land and enjoy security. I cannot see us aging gracefully without forgiveness. Children must forgive their parents. Do you know parents are trying to do their best? Sometimes it comes out negatively. Sometimes they themselves are wounded, so that it is the hurt people hurting people. So somewhere we have to reach and say, because I've been forgiven, that's why Jesus Christ came. So because we have been forgiven, I will forgive. Without that, there will be no aging gracefully. We will be talking to graves, and whatever foolishness we can have, and it makes no sense. We can talk to the living. We can choose to love people. Love even those who have despitefully used us, or abused us. We choose to forgive and choose for opportunities to show love. That is the gospel.
I hear you. I hear you.
Let me add something. In the same strength,
yes,
they are the same type of this behavior we are describing here.
Yes.
These children, again, some of them become very abusive to their parents.
Okay.
And they become completely abusive. It can be emotionally abusive, physically. Some children beat up their parents. I mean, you've read these things. They beat them up thoroughly. And it doesn't matter whether he was intoxicated or he was high on drugs. It doesn't matter. The fact remains. And they abuse them financially. They neglect them. In the line of revenge.
Yeah.
You beat me up when I was young, I'll beat you up when you're old.
Oh, no.
Now, who benefits in this situation? Actually, the bigger burden is on the child. I believe in blessings and curses, and that is what they load on themselves. They have the choice. And like Dr. Nganga says, they have the choice. If they cannot forgive, then they put that burden on themselves.
Oh,
Yeah.
so forgive. That's the greatest message I hear you saying. Okay, let me go to Grace, the numbers person. Tell us, which are the top 3 insurances that we need to take that will help us in old age, or at least in a long-term basis, even if not old age, but on a long-term basis?
On a long-term basis. 1, PRS, pension plans.
Okay.
Most companies offer pension plans, but we take them for granted because the company does a fraction, you do a fraction.
Okay.
But is that money enough?
No.
It's not.
So what do we do?
2, people don't go to real estates. That's
Uh-huh.
another way of investing for your retirement.
Okay.
Inheritance cannot be your retirement, is it? I can't wait for my mom's or my dad's
You kill them.
house.
Yeah.
That is my
If they
retirement.
take too long to die.
Yes. 2, we have annuities. Most people don't know what annuities are. We do make money, but yes, I've got this lump sum. Where do I take it? Do I spend it or do I put it in a kitty? That is what we call an annuity. It's a kitty where you're putting it for a long term because you don't need that money now. You need it in your future. Sindio?
Yeah.
Now, those are 3. Another one, Patricia?
Medical. I feel like medical might be
Medical
on top of the list even.
falls under your investments, of course.
Okay.
Retirement. So the retirement package has a broad session in terms of what it caters for. 1 is food, 2, shelter, of course, medical. My age and a 50-year-old, I don't go to the hospital often like a 50-year-old. So medical falls in place with your retirement as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. Imagine, ladies, that's all the time we had. But I feel like the most important message that we are all going home with is forgiving. We will have to forgive our family members. Send your comments to 0786316316. That's my WhatsApp line. And make sure you catch this and other episodes of She on our YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe, to like, to comment, and to share. Thank you and good night.